Okay, YouTube, here we go. I've got everything set, I think. I'm sort of just really winging it today. But I'm running out of vacation time. So here we go. Welcome back to the Don't Stop Me Now podcast, where being negative can be a good thing and being positive can turn the world against you. Hello, I am your HIV positive host, Miss Jennifer Levon, and this is episode 99. I'm almost there. I'm almost ready to hit 100. It's so exciting. I mean, kind of. I mean, I didn't really know if I'd continue this in October of 2020, but I have. And 100 episodes. It's almost there. We'll see if I make it to 200. I don't know. That seems like kind of hard to attain. I mean, maybe, you never know. So let's see what's been going on. I think I'm too close to this mic. So there's one little issue here. I got a new iPhone. I traded in my 12. I got the 15. It just came yesterday. I transferred everything over. By the way, Go Niners. I am decked out in my Niner gear right now. If you can't see me, if you're listening through Apple or Spotify, you will not know this, but I am all in my red, a little bit of black and white to support my team who has won the NFC West, and they are going to be in the playoffs. I don't even think there's a game this week. I think it's a bye week. I'm not even sure. I have to check. Anyway, love the Niners. So yes, Go Niners. And so yeah, I was setting up now for YouTube, and then also for my Spotify, for my just regular podcast. Of course, I have a mic right in front of me for the regular podcast, but for YouTube, I need to hook a little microphone, this little cutie patootie. Oh, there goes gotta make one little move and everything falls down. This little microphone right here is called a lavalier mic. I know this because I was a radio, TV, film major, or a clip-on. So this I would normally put here, and then it would connect to my iPhone. But you know, iPhones have to change every time they have a new update or a new phone. They changed the damn outlet plug thing. So this no longer fits. Ooh, the sun is coming in. Late day sun here. This doesn't fit in my 15. So now I have to buy a new mic. This is obsolete. I must throw this away. It has no use because I don't have the 12 anymore. I turned it in. I got $700 for it. Not bad. So the new phone is just an extra $10 a month for, I don't know, I didn't pay attention, but it's for a little while. But it's worth it. Super nice camera. Probably too clear. I hope no one can see all of my wrinkles because it probably is better quality. I changed the, I don't know, I changed it from from 4G, I think that's what it is, to HD, and from 4K, I don't know, whatever. I drop everything down one because for uploading purposes, when it's super, super clear, it will take 5 days to upload. It's crazy. Like, it takes so much extra, I don't know, megabytes, gigabytes, I don't know, terabytes, something. It takes a lot of extra stuff to upload it. So I put it down to a lower resolution, and it usually works a little bit faster. Yeah, literally like 1 day versus like 8 hours. So it is better. Okay, so yeah, I have no mic, so I apologize on YouTube. I'm going to try to project my voice more, but that's gonna mess up the podcast. I should have this mic a little further away so that you guys can hear me, without the mic. But I'll get one. I'll order them. They're cheap. I just didn't even realize it till I sat down just now. And, I've been really procrastinating all day. It has been the day of procrastination. I want to show you guys something. If you're on YouTube, check out this palm tree. Look at the sky right now. Look at that. The sun's going down. It's dark over there. I don't know if you can see, but this is just a palm tree hanging. The palm fronds are just visible in this little window. And this used to be my son's room, and then it was Joey's room briefly. But yeah, we have some palm trees in the backyard that were bought at Home Depot that were, I don't know, 4 feet tall, and now they're taller than the house. It's crazy. So the palm fronds just like they hang in front of the windows. In fact, in Owen's room, that one hangs right against his screen, and he had to keep his window shut because the screen has holes in it, because there's birds that build nests with the screen material. They just pick and pick and pick at the screens, and they put holes in everybody's screens around here. So it made an opening for insects to come in through the palm fronds. So they come into Owen's room, spiders, we've had some issues with insects. So yeah, he has to keep his window shut because I can't get to that palm frond. I don't know how I'm gonna like break it down. It's 2 stories high. So anyway, yeah, the microphone is an issue. And I was just, I don't know. It's been a really cold day here in California. It was like 39 when I got up. My house was cold. I have not had a lot of energy to just do anything today. I feel like I've been on my phone, and as I'm on my phone and posting some stuff, I'm getting more anxiety as the day is going on because I'm not doing anything productive, and I'm like, vacation's running out. I'm just feeling like all these nerves. So I go to the gym. I didn't run today. I just didn't feel it. And I did like more like leg stuff. But even that, Finn is like licking his ween and it's so gross. Finn, stop. Ugh. It's so gross. Anyways, that's all I see out of the corner of my eye over here is the dog licking himself. Thank you, Finn. Sitting like a proper gentleman now. But anyways, I got back from the gym and I feel like I needed to do a podcast, but sometimes it's just easier to sit behind your phone and not be recorded and not have to think. And so, but as the sun was going down, or, it's like getting closer to 4:00, it's now 4:30. I'm like, the sun's going to be down. I don't like the lighting in the room when the sun goes down. So I need to just get my shit in gear and go do it. Just do it. It's fine. And you'll be happy that you did it. So yeah, I'm glad that I'm sitting in here doing my podcast with you. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you first of all about, a survey that I hope if you are on any injectable for HIV and you live in the United States, I would please ask you to take this survey. It's a short survey. It's anonymous. It's through ADAP, the AIDS Drug Assistance Program Advocacy Association. I knew I was going to mess that up. This is the group that sent me to Louisiana. They put this survey together. These surveys are always to help, better help the people that are living with HIV. So we want to know how it's going for you, basically. So if you are taking an injectable, it doesn't have to necessarily be Cabenuva. I know that's the hot one everyone knows about, but it could be any one of them. So Sunlenca is another one, and I don't know any other ones, but you have to be HIV positive. So you couldn't be like taking the injectable. I think it's, I can't think of it's the one for PrEP. It's, I think it starts with an A. I just talked about it on a TikTok live the other night. Anyways, it doesn't even matter, but there is an injectable for PrEP, but that's for people who don't have HIV. So we only want this survey done for people who are HIV positive and live in the US, that reside in the US. Again, and the way to get to it, in my links here, I always have links in my description. It will take you to my LinkTree, and it's the very first link right there. So please take that survey if you fit the criteria. I can't take it. And, a little bit about Cabenuva, for those that don't know, it's 2 medications. One is put into each side of your butt cheek. It's an injectable with a needle. It has to be done in a medical setting. And there's a whole thing about like temperature and stuff, so it has to be kept, I think it's refrigerated or something, but it has to be a certain temperature when it goes into you as well. There's a whole thing. So that's why it can't be done at home. But Cabenuva will keep you undetectable for 2 months at a time. Obviously, more than likely it's longer, but they want to make sure that you're on top of it. So they want you to do it every 8 weeks. So not only are you undetectable, but you also cannot transmit HIV sexually. And it doesn't matter what your gender is or who you're having sex with. You cannot transmit HIV. It doesn't matter if the girl has her period. It doesn't matter if the condom breaks. It doesn't matter if the person's on PrEP. They don't need to be, but it doesn't matter if there's cuts and tears and all the fluids. It doesn't matter. HIV cannot be transmitted when we are undetectable. It's been proven. There are no cases of anybody becoming positive after being with somebody who's undetectable. There was 125,000 condomless sex acts between somebody who is HIV positive and undetectable and their negative partner through all of the studies over many, many years, and there were 0 transmissions. So yes, hallelujah, we cannot transmit HIV. And this would be, this is just such a great message. It's not only great for our health, because of course, a lot of people, like I know somebody personally who is not in care. They are HIV positive. It is a person on my ex-husband's side of the family. He's been living on the street. He was diagnosed. He was, he got it through drug use. he was in care for a while, but he's back on the street and he doesn't care. He's not taking it. So I don't think he's, having, relations with anybody, but I do believe that he is using and he could still be transmitting it through needles. So the hope is that people understand that if you stay in care, you obviously will have a long, normal life. You won't be transmitting this to anybody. The benefits are all there. Like, there's no reason to not be on treatment. But there are things called the social determinants of health that play into people not taking their medication. And thankfully, I'm very lucky, and everything is right in my life for me to continue my treatment. So. And for most people I know, it's the same, but I don't talk to people who are homeless, so I don't know what their life is like, but I can only imagine it's probably more important for them just to eat every day, and maybe taking medication isn't the first thing on their mind, or they have mental health issues and no one's helping them stay, in care and compliant with their medication. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention about when I went to that meeting in Louisiana, I don't remember if I mentioned this in my last podcast or not, but there was a gentleman there, a gay man, HIV positive, who is a blog writer for the ADAP Advocacy Association. And I'm not even going to share his name because I guess this might be private information, so I don't want to blast him or anything. But anyways, he had said during the meeting something about that, he does Cabenuva, and he said he could never go back to the pill. And I was like, he really emphasized that. And I was like, this is a guy who's obviously openly out about his status. And it really struck me that he was saying he could never go back to the pill. And I'm thinking, but why? Like, I take a pill, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't feel anything. So I asked him during a break why that was, that he wouldn't feel like he can go back to the pill. And he said, because it is a reminder every single time I take that pill, every single day, of one mistake that I made in my life. So it's unfortunate, but this is a guy who's super, super versed in HIV. He's in the community, but he still sees that as a mistake that he made one night, and now it's with him for life, and everybody's situation is different. There are good reasons for why the injectables are just good for people. It's also for people who are not good about being compliant and taking their medication every day. Again, people who can't get to the doctor or maybe to a pharmacy every month, or I don't know. There could be a myriad of different reasons why a pill a day. Psychologically, I know it does affect people taking medication every day, maybe side effects or something. So, I thought that was interesting that he has that perspective and he's been positive longer than me. Okay, let's see. Just a reminder that I do provide personal risk assessments for HIV. $20. The links are in my bio. Reach out to me through there. The whole rigmarole is there, how to do it. You just go to my LinkTree, you pick your app you want to pay, then contact me through my Pause.ly Instagram. And I don't talk to people over the phone. It's just through DM. So you can type or voice message me, and I will always voice message back because I can't stand typing. It's just too slow for me, and I can say much more, and you can hear my tone and really understand how I feel about your experience or quote unquote exposure, because most of the time it's never a true exposure. Okay, so let's see. I was going to talk today about boys, a little bit about that stigma. I just want to say right off that my close friends on Instagram are incredible. I really, really have the most amazing people giving me advice, supporting me through all of my little social things that I go through personally, my private, personal things with boys. And I tell you, I can't believe how much it helps. I mean, I'm really lucky. Who else has a bunch of people that are telling you? It's you have your girlfriends or you have your mom or whatever, but I have I think there's 200 people on there. Really only at the most about 100 look at it. And I would say roughly 20 write to me and say, this is how they feel about it, or they've had this too, or, and it could be just general guy stuff and dating, not necessarily HIV, but it's just, God, I feel so lucky. I'm so lucky to have this group of people that care enough to watch the story and then tell me how they feel about it. And they're incensed a lot about things that I share and makes me feel validated. It's really, really nice. So I will start with, there's two. Well, yeah, and then I was going to talk about Gypsy Rose a little bit. I don't have a whole lot to say, but okay. So there was somebody that I had seen for a year. Oh, Finn, stop licking. So gross. Not like in a boyfriendy way or anything, just had been over to his place. We met on Tinder. He was involved in the basketball community, where my kid plays, and didn't really realize how involved it was going to get as far as like us being around the same people until more recently, because Owen's on varsity basketball. So he does a travel league, and anyways, a lot of the kids that play with Owen have been on his travel league, and it's called the AAU league. I don't even know what that stands for, but anyway, I told him about my status. I don't remember. Oh yeah. I ended my last podcast with the fact that it had been silent. So I finally reached out to him because the silence was deafening. It had been 3 weeks. And when I left there, it felt like I left on a good note. It felt like he understood everything I said. I wanted him to know why I went to Louisiana. And really, I wanted him to know more about Jennifer Vaughn, the advocate, because I'm damn proud of what I've done. And what I got in return was basically crickets. I don't think he was impressed in any way with what I do, nor do I think that he really even looked into it. I reached out to him. Let's see. I asked him if everything was okay. Seems quiet. And he took a day to write back. And he, in the morning, yes, all's good. Sun and one of those little emojis with the hands, all's good. I said, okay, great, then we can hang out soon. This is testing the waters. No response. 5 hours goes by. I'm like, okay. And I'm having anxiety. Like, this is awful for somebody who's disclosed something that's not easy to talk about. Of course, I didn't put him at risk in any way. Also, this is a person that's never come to the table wanting to use condoms. So, and he's on dating apps. So let's just address that too, because that is irresponsibility on his part. And I highly doubt he's testing. And it's just funny how it's such a double standard that I am the bad guy because I have HIV, but yet I'm on treatment. I can't, transmit it. And then this is somebody who's judging me, who literally is not using condoms, and I don't know who he is having sex with. And literally, I wanted him to wear condoms because I didn't know what I was being exposed to. I don't want more STIs. So I have more frequently than normal, if I've been with him, gone and tested for GNC, gonorrhea and chlamydia. That's a pee in the cup test. And I have also get tested for syphilis every single time my blood's drawn. So that's an automatic. Nothing's ever turned up positive, but you just never know. So anyways, I don't get anything back. So I decided I'm going to put it all out there. I'm going to send him a text to say, look, I obviously can tell that you have you're feeling a certain way about this. It's pretty obvious. I hope you understand that I never put you at risk. It's hard to not get anything back. Like, I feel your distance. Like, we were at one of my son's basketball games. You knew I was going to be there. You didn't even text me. Nothing after. It's like so different now. And it seems really clear. And it's like, in general, this is really sad. Like, all this information's on the internet. It would take literally 30 seconds for him to see that he was never at risk. But now all of a sudden, because I have HIV, which is literally almost gone from my body, but yet he is seeing me as he must be seeing me as, I don't want to speak for him, but this is what it feels like from my end. He's discarded me. I am no longer somebody that he even acts like he knows. So, okay, my son just came back in from basketball. So I say, something, if you could respond, would be helpful. No, Joey, don't call right now. Okay. And anyways, that was sent like around noon. Well, it took him a day and a half to respond to me. The whole next day went through, and then I got something the following morning. So I don't know what day it was that I responded, but it was like afternoon. That whole day went through. or the rest of the day, then a whole nother day, and then the next morning I got a message. So literally almost 48 hours later, like how hard is it to send a message, knowing that I'm suffering on the other end, wanting to know what is happening. And again, this is nobody, I was not in love with him or anything. I just enjoyed time with him. We had pretty good chemistry. He's 10 years younger than me, never been married, no kids, but you know, he's like a snuggly guy, snuggle bear, I would say. But anyway, so he writes back and just says, you know, you have to understand that, of course, I was a bit overwhelmed with what you shared and I needed time to process. And I'm sure it was difficult for, this is not verbatim, I'm just kind of like trying to remember what he said. You know, I'm sure it was difficult for you to share something so personal. And that was about it. But in no way did my waiting to talk to you was meant to make you feel a certain way. That was kind of it. So then I said, I thought that was kind of nice. And I thought, okay, we're good. So I sent a message back saying, you know, awesome. Like, I thank you for writing. I really wanted you to know like more about me. I'm really proud of what I've done. And my story is very easy to tell. It's very easy to tell publicly, but it is not easy to tell personally. And I hope you can understand that. And, you know, I felt like it was all on the up and up and good. And that's it. There's been no word since. And that was over a week ago. He was at my son's game last night. We sat probably 20 feet away from each other. People are saying, oh, he probably knows about your podcast and he found it and found that you were talking about him. Well, he should be flattered if he found it and heard me talking about him, because all I've ever said was nice things. And I've never said his name. So, you know, other than the coach, I mean, that's kind of what I refer to him as. Nobody would know who I was talking about. But anyway, yeah, he was at my son's game, sat like 20 feet from me. And by the way, he doesn't do social media. He never even asked anything about my social media. Like, how could I find your stuff? How can I see your story? No, there was none of that. He's never asked my last name. I literally gave it to him that night because we met on Tinder. My name is Jennifer. He's never asked my last name. So I said, by the way, I'm Jennifer Vaughn. And my podcast is called Don't Stop Me Now. But I'm telling you, like, that stuff, he went to bed right after. He did not, I know him. He's not searching for me. I know that. His social media is very limited. He like takes pictures of desserts and like puts them on Instagram once a year. I mean, this is not somebody who's using social media. He's really busy too. He has a really, really busy schedule. So yeah, he doesn't care either to be searching up my stuff. I know that about him. He is very, like if he did, he would have asked me questions about myself way back when. I mean, I remember at one point after seeing him for a while, I said, do you even know my name? Can you say it? And he did say it once. He was not happy that I asked him that. And then I brought it up another time, like months later, because I forgot I'd already asked it once. But that's how much I was feeling like he didn't really know me. He just knew this woman that came and would hang out with him. And so I said, what, do you even know my name? And he was like, I'm really offended that you would say that. Like, he was really, I'm like, well, dude, you don't ask me shit. Like, you don't. So, but I didn't want to get him more mad. So I just let it go because this is what it is. It's just really a physical relationship. So anyways, that's that. I think that this is the end of that, which is fine. I think he was lucky to have me. He's not all that physically at all. I just really liked his personality when we were hanging out. He was fun, had great stories. And, he was really snuggly. I thought it was nice. That was nice. He could hug and kiss me all night, which is like, sometimes I just like that intimacy. So yeah, that's the end of that. I think, at this point, I think his silence is mean and I don't have any desire to see him again, even if he'd reached out to me, which I don't think he will, but there's only so much that I'm going to put up with. And I think at this point, it's just rude and shows what kind of man he is, honestly. I mean, I understand having a fear of HIV if you hear that, but like I explained everything so clearly and the internet is very easy to access and all of the information is there. It's not hard to find. So really, this is about a man who's stuck in 1990 and chose to go with stigma and not treat me like a human. Really, it's really, like that's the most shocking part is the fact that he can just disregard me now. Like I'm as if I never existed. This is a man I've known just this month, 1 year, and now I am nothing to him. So, but I think he's trying to like, he'll respond to me if I send a text, but it'll take him a day and a half. And I think he's only doing that to save face because he knows I'm going to see him in public at these sporting events. So he doesn't want to rock the boat too much with me, but he's not reaching out to me, has not reached out one time since I told him. So, okay. I've talked about my favorite the last time I did a podcast. That was, okay, so this was somebody that was in my life from about May. Again, met him on Tinder, did not expect to have feelings for him. He's 20 years younger than me. He's gorgeous, like absolutely beautiful. Blonde, about shoulder length, blonde hair. He's way shorter than me, but he's in like amazing physical condition, kind of hairless. He's the best body. Gorgeous smile, very angular, manly face. He's got a butt chin. He's just so handsome, so handsome. And so anyway, when I first met him, he didn't, I don't know, I wasn't really into him, and he was into me. He was trying to get over a breakup with a girlfriend, and that's what he finally came up and told me, or whatever. Like the third time we saw each other, I kind of like, the first time I was like, oh, I don't know, like, and it was a hookup, I was like, I don't really know, but because it was so much shorter than me. And then the second time we did shrooms, and then that was like a 3-hour ordeal, but it was kind of like, they didn't affect me. They were the ones I grew, and they didn't really work that good. And it was like the middle of the day, and it wasn't that amazing experience I'd had with the cabin man. So it was like, okay, but then he was writing to me after going, I can't say I haven't thought about you. Like, I'm thinking about you. And I was like, oh, interesting. All right. So then the third time I saw him that was the time I told him I had HIV. But I told him it's basically gone. Like, I take a pill a day and like all that. And so he was fine with it, but he'd left his wallet in my car. So he swung back by my place because we did it in a car. And anyways, he swung back by my place. And when I went to give him his wallet outside, he was in a truck. So he was up higher, so more like my height. I don't know. We just started kissing. There was like this kiss, and I was like, what was that? Like, wow. I was like totally, completely floored. I skipped back to my house and I went, oh my God, what? I didn't know that I had feelings for this guy. So I saw him probably, I don't know, 7 more times from like I said, this was probably like May through like September, I think. So just here and there, like once every 3 weeks, once every 2 weeks. One time it happened 2 days in a row. But he was going through this thing where he was meeting other people, didn't want me to know, obviously. We both knew we were on dating apps. I was honestly seeing other people to not think about him. I was hoping that it would get my mind off him. And it didn't help because there was magic with him. There's just some people that there is magic with. And there's a picture I'll put it on my YouTube channel, these pictures of the 2 humans together that are making love, and there's all the colors and all the the colors coming off them, and all like their veins and everything are all colorful, and that is how I felt with him. Like, it really was. But then as it got closer to September, whatever, and he was starting to see a new girl, he was pulling away from me, and it was like when I would see him, it was almost like he wasn't giving me as much, but there were definitely at least 3 or 4 times where it was just amazing. But then, and so I was addicted. Like, it's an addiction for sure. Sex is such an addiction, especially when you find that special chemistry with somebody. And I haven't found it with anybody else since like my ex-husband, who I'm no longer, and the one that I was with for 6 years, not my kid's dad. I felt like we had some pretty amazing chemistry, but like I would cry after, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I don't really even know, because I feel like with him, I was like, it was magical. I can't even, I feel so stupid saying that, but it really was. It was like out of this world. Like, this is like, wow. Like, you're breathing in this energy from them. And I don't know. Maybe he didn't feel this way, but I thought he was giving me that. So long story short, it ends. I feel stupid because he's now going to date this new girl, and I needed to walk away and save face because it was very embarrassing, because here I am 20 years older. Like, I have no business being with this guy. We have nothing in common except for this chemistry. So yes, didn't talk to him for 1.5 years. He stumbles back into my life, and I'm over it. Like, I'm over it. If anything, it's a regret every time I think about him. Like, God, why did I let that go as long as I did? Kind of like almost begging, you know, can we please hang out? Like a little, like, but not so much, but like in my mind, I'm dying every time I see him and hoping. I mean, there was a moment where he had me over to watch movies, like, and we were sitting on the couch together, and I'm waiting for the moment for something to happen. We're literally shoulder to shoulder. He smoked a bunch of pot. I had an edible. I'm still waiting. Like an hour and a half goes by. Nothing is happening. I literally, like a dumbass, touched his hand and put my hand like in his hand like this. And he didn't squeeze it back. And I kept it there because I didn't know what else to do at that point because I had already put it there. And it was like, I'll never forget how awkward that felt. Like, I shouldn't have done this. And I didn't want to pull it away right away because then it just seems even more awkward. But I left it there for like, I don't know, it felt like forever. And I just, that is the most cringe worthy moment. I wish I could take that away because he didn't want to be holding hands with me. And I screwed up. I shouldn't have tried to hold his hand. Okay, so he contacts me. I don't even know. It's been like almost 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks? Yeah, it's almost been 2 weeks. All of a sudden I get a text from him. Like, I never thought I would talk to him again ever in my life. I figured he was going to go on with this girl, maybe marry her, who knows. Text me, is this still you? And I talked about this last week. And I'm like, huh? Is this what? And I immediately, stomach started to hurt, like in that way where it's like the butterflies. It's like, oh my freaking God. So I wanted to test the waters. Like, I'm just going to kind of jump ahead here. Yes, we decided to meet each other. He wanted me to come over that night. And I was like, hell no, I'm like in bed and I don't want to look desperate. Like you reach out for me and I'm jumping out of my bed to go see you. No, like freaking A, I've dealt with enough embarrassing moments with him. I don't want to like do that. So anyways, we make plans for the next night. I go over there. And I'm hoping that the reconnection won't be there. And then I'll just be like, oh, good. Okay, it was just a thing from back then. And I'm over it. And I'm more grown up now. And it's like, maybe it was just something back then, something in the water that made me really like him. He comes out of the bathroom. Like, I think I talked about this last time. He had the soap all over in his hair. And he's like, his dog was barking. So he came to like, kind of like tell the dog, like, it's okay. Bends down, gives me a kiss. The kiss was like so soft and nice. I was like, oh my freaking God. Right away, I'm like, I'm in trouble. Shit, totally in trouble. So I'm not going to go through all the details, but we had an amazing, I would say 3 hours together. And it felt so like reciprocal. Like he wanted me the way I wanted him. I was getting all of what I wanted before that I was kind of always just getting little crumbs of. He was giving me 100% of him. It was it was the time with him that I always wanted. I almost said his name. I don't really want to say his name. But it was incredible. And I let my hormones, I could feel it. I could feel this surge in my body. Like I knew I was in trouble. I'm like, I'm going to be a mess for days because I can already feel this high that I'm on. The endorphins were so like elevated and I was letting myself just take in every like atom of it. Like it was like, I was just so like, I don't care. I don't care how I feel tomorrow. I'm living in this moment now. And I kept thinking it's going to continue. Like I'm going to see him again, obviously, because this is so insanely intense and beautiful and amazing and like rare, you know, it's rare. And so in fact, there's a Taylor Swift song, Say Don't Go. That song and All Too Well, those songs mess me up. God, Say Don't Go. Is that the name of it? I should read the lyrics to that. Oh my God. So anyways, I'm going to get back into the story. I do want to kind of read the lyrics. I'm going to see if I can bring it up. So, I go and we've had, okay, so the chit chat is like, you know, New Year's Eve was the next day and he says, hey, I had a great time last night. Happy New Year's Eve to you. I'm like, I had an awesome time too. Happy New Year's Eve to you also. Then the next day he texts me, you know, he's texting me first. He says, you know, I hope you had a great New Year's Eve, or I hope you're having a good New Year's Day so far. You know, how you doing? So that's where we're at. I'm responding. Hold on, Taylor Swift, Say Don't Go. And I can't play the song or else this video won't be, this YouTube video will lose its monetization and I can use every penny I make off these videos, which ain't much. It says, I've known it from the very start. We were a shot in the darkest dark. This song makes me want to cry. I can't even read it because it makes me think of oh no, I'm unarmed. The waiting is the sadness. Totally, the waiting is so sad. fading into madness. Oh no, it won't stop. I gotta get a hold of myself, Jesus. Says, I'm standing on a tightrope alone. I hold my breath a little longer, halfway out the door, but it won't close. You know, this is like, you're like, I know I need to leave, but you're wanting them to just say, please don't go, you know? And that's how I felt with him a lot. Towards the end, she says, I'm holding out hope for you to say don't go. I would stay forever if you say don't go. God damn you, Taylor. Why'd you have to lead me on? Why'd you have to twist the knife? Walk away and leave me bleeding. Why'd you whisper in the dark just to leave me in the night? Now your silence has me screaming. I mean, I feel like everything that is in this song is exactly what I went through. And there was a moment that night where his hair's, like, the hair formed around my face. I'm not sure if I said this in my last podcast. And I decided to just whisper to him, it's so good to see you. And we are like nose to nose, lips to lips. And he's like, it's so good to see you too. Like, oh, talk about taking the breath out of me. My heart stopping, right? Now I'm pacing on shaky ground. Strike a match, then you blow it out. You know, it's all this like me trying, him stopping, me trying. Oh no, it's not fair because you kiss me and it stops time. And I'm yours, but you're not mine. Totally. Oh no, you're not there. And then it's kind of a repeat of the rest of it. But yeah, this song, I sit in my car and I sang it and cried my heart out because it's been torture for the last 2 weeks since we saw each other. So there's been some chit chat about, you know, how are you, whatever. He's not doing great because he ended something with somebody. I literally saw him like right after the breakup, like the day. I didn't know it until, there's a reason why I know, but it literally happened like the day before. So, but yeah, God. So he's clearly, he was rebounding. He was needing to feel some affection because I think they've been fighting for months and he was probably missing, you know, some good sex, I guess, but also the connection. And he knew with me that it would be there. And so he used that. Unfortunately, there goes the sun. The sun is going down. So I don't feel like he tried to use me. I don't. I feel like he had a need and he reached out to me and I was like, yeah, you know, of course. So, for like, you know, there was like, well, we should hang out soon kind of thing. And then he reached out to me one night and then I kind of inferred, because he was like, hey, he said, what are you up to tonight? Do you have any plans tonight? That was it. You have any plans tonight? Wouldn't you think that would mean he's asking me if I'm available? I said, just watching basketball with my son. We were watching a Denver Nuggets game. And I said, that's it, just watching basketball. Like, I'm implying that's all that's going on, you know? And I said, what about you? And he said, just chilling, about to go to a meeting and then go to bed early. A meeting meaning AA. He doesn't drink. So I'm like, and I'm in my head going, what? Like, why did you even ask? Why did you even, like, I was almost at his house in my head, like, oh, I'm there, I'm going. I'm figuring this out and I'm going. I mean, I'm going to make something up to Owen or I'm just going to tell him I'm going. I don't even care because he asked me, what am I up to tonight? So, but it didn't turn into anything. So, so then a couple days go by. I don't know. There was more text that just didn't really, and he would do this in the past. He would like text me and ask me what I was up to. And then he would never ask me over. So finally, 2 days ago, there was some like, I don't know, even 3 days ago, it was kind of that same thing. I said, do you need company? Like, I'm trying to see him. He said, I'm kind of in the feels. Like, I know he's really going through this breakup now. It's like, it's finally hit him and there's not going to be a reconciliation because I'm not going to get into it. There's a restraining order. So, there will be no reconciliation with them. So he's feeling sad because she had kids and he's missing the kids and whatever. So he says, probably not tonight, maybe tomorrow night. So I'm like, okay, let me know. I'm trying to be real chill about everything. So then the next day he hits me up around 4:00 in the afternoon, which seems strange. Like, that's early. And he's like, hey, how are you doing? I said, good. How are you? I said, I'm on my way into Target. And he said, it took him a while to respond. And he said that he was chilling or something. And he said, and then he wrote Capitola or Watsonville. So there's I thought he was referring to our homes because he lives in Capitola. I live in Watsonville. I didn't realize till later when my mind was clear that he was actually talking about what Target was I at. So I immediately jumped to conclusions and say, well, my house is available from this time to this time because Owen had practice. Let me know. And then he didn't respond for like an hour. Obviously, because he was like, what's she talking about? I was just asking what Target she was at. And so, but I didn't put that together. I was just so excited. I thought he was asking which house because, and he had even put the emoji with the little sweat because I thought that meant like, hey, is your house available? That's what I took it as. It was because he was wondering if I was at the Capitola Target, because then I would have been really close to his house. And he was like, like, are you near? Like, because I think he's not sure should he have me come over or not. So then he says, hey, I'm on my way to a meeting. I'm going to be busy from like 6 to 8. My phone won't be on, but I can text call after. But just a heads up, I'm in the feels and I'm not feeling very sexy or sexual. So that's him saying, you can come over, but nothing's going to happen. And I'm immediately devastated. And during this hour that I'm waiting to hear back from him, I am taking an everything bath. I have shaved everything. I am so clean. I smell amazing. I'm doing my makeup. And then I get this message. I'm like, after everything's done, the hair's all done and I'm like ready to go. I'm like, oh, this is not what I thought it was at all. And I was not laughing. This was like kind of devastating. So I'm talking to my daughter and she's saying, just tell him that, and she's giving me all these. She's like, I've been with manipulative men. That she's saying it's manipulative. I don't think he's trying to manipulate. My glasses are dirty right there. I feel that it was more that he's trying to keep me at a distance because he's messed up emotionally and he doesn't want to like, he can't give me what I want. So I say, hey, how about another night or something? That's what Ryan suggested that I said. And he writes back after, 10 minutes and says, okay, sounds good. And that's not like him. He usually responds with like, he does a lot of sweet emojis, I must say. He's very sweet in that way, which kills me because he does respond with cute, the heart, this one with the hands, like when you make the heart, he does like, there's always hearts. He always does hearts. It's always sweet or like a kiss or a wink or whatever. Yeah, my hair is bugging me. So he just says, okay, sounds good. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, good. I'm like kind of trying to be strong. That's right. I'm not going to like let this bother me. This is what you get. I'm strong. I put my foot down and then the real me starts to come through and I'm like, I don't like how that ended. I need to tell him. So I say to him, look, I think that you are in a place that's difficult right now, and I don't want to complicate anything. I just want you to know I'm sending you a hug. And he said something like sending a big hug back or like taking a hug back or something like that. It was like he was really nice in responding. He said, I really respect that. I don't have the conversation in front of me. But, and then I said, and by the way, I just realized what you meant by Capitola. Watsonville, I said, I feel like a freaking idiot, like so stupid. I said, I did the emoji with the hand on the forehead, like, and he said, laugh. He goes, oh, ha, 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 laugh out, like, don't even worry about it. I could see what that confusion would be. He goes, yeah, he goes, I was just seeing if you were close by. And I thought, you know what, this is it. I need to do it. So I sent him a text and I said, I want you to know that I basically can't do this. Like I had feelings came up. I told him, I said, old feelings came back right away. And I said, and I know myself and I know I'm going to get hurt. And I said, and I know you, and I know that you are not intentionally trying to hurt me, but I know that you are not in a place right now to give me back what I would want. I didn't say that, but something to that effect. And then I said, I wish I was 20 years younger. I said, I think you're great. And it was my way of saying, like, I can't see you anymore in any way. And it's really hard, it's hard, but I need to say goodbye. And so this is after just one time. And this is after like a year and a half of not seeing him and like not even having him like, any like longing for him. Like he's been out of my head. I mean, of course I think about him here and there, but it wasn't like in a way like I was hoping to hear from him. I just assumed he moved on with his life. So he writes back and he says, I really appreciate that so much. And whether we're hooking up, even if we're not hooking up, I always love your company. And that was when I had to say, I can't, like, it hurts. Like, it's so hard for me. Like, that was when I said that message after that. I said, I can't, basically. But I didn't say I can't. I just said, like, feelings came up. I'm going to get hurt. And I think you're great. And then he said, he said, you are a beautiful woman. He goes, Jen, I totally appreciate it. I got a bunch of hearts. It was really sweet. And then he said, we could all take a few years off of ourselves or something like that. And I said, oh no, I actually meant, I wish I was 20 years younger. So compatibility wise, so that we could be a couple, And he said, I feel it. And he put purple hearts, and then I hearted it. And that was 2 days ago, and I'm okay. Kind of. I mean, I just read those lyrics and fell apart. I'm trying not to, I don't know why it's so hard for me. I don't even know why. He was never even a boyfriend. But isn't it crazy what a connection can do and how it can mess you up? And like, there's a song, All Too Well, Taylor Swift, and she talks about, you were there, my hair, wind in my hair, and it was rare. Like, she says the word, it was rare. And it's like, God damn, yes. These moments with people are so hard to find. And this is the one that I'm gonna just have great memories of, and I will not be able to continue with it. And that's probably why it's so bittersweet too, is because it's like, if it had turned into a relationship, it would have gotten yucky at some point, so like, that'll never happen. So it's always going to be these really beautiful memories that didn't get to go any further. And I'm going to have to keep trying to seek this with somebody. And it's really, nothing's topped it in 3 years. And believe me, I've had plenty of experiences, but like, nothing's really topping it. Nothing. Yeah. So there's something about this guy, something about Mary, something about him. And he'll just be a very fond memory for me at this point. I don't expect to hear from him. I really don't, unless he just, asks how I'm doing or something like that. Like, I think that's possible, because he's a good person, and that's possible. But okay, so I can't talk about it anymore, because I'm gonna keep crying. But I bought this on the internet. If you have seen this, I saw a girl on TikTok using this on her face. I actually thought she was going like this, and I thought she was combing her face. I thought she was using a brush. This is called a guisha, I think. It's like a stone. It's super cold right now. And I put like this oil on my face, and rub it on my face. I don't know if it's doing shit, but it feels kind of good. And then I feel like it's like moving like my blood around, and like maybe dealing with my jowls. But I do like 10 swipes on each side in the morning and at night. And people have asked me like what I use on my skin. I don't know, I just started using this, but I really think it's psychosomatic. I don't think it's really doing anything, but it feels good. And at least I'm treating myself to like this sort of like facial. So, and you can do it on your neck too. They have like, this was literally $5 on Amazon. Came in the mail overnight. I think I paid $5.66, and I have Prime, so no shipping, but super cheap. You could probably get it at, I don't know, I think like they even have similar things at Target, but it's like a little roller brush. But it's a stone. It's a smooth stone, and I don't know, I kind of like it. Yeah, I don't really do much for my face. I mean, I wash it and I don't know, put lotion on it, moisturizer, but I'm not very good about using stuff on my face other than Botox. Okay, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I will just end with that. She's free. She got out December 26th, and that was very exciting. We are so happy for her. I mean, this girl was abused her entire life by her mother, forced to take medications. She had a feeding tube. They say with women who have Munchausen by proxy syndrome, that they love the feeding tubes. If they can get a doctor to put a feeding tube in their kid, it's the best, because then they have full control of starving them, feeding them, inserting medications they don't need, putting things in them that will make them look and appear sick. So it's very dangerous for those children. Obviously, she had a feeding tube. She didn't need one. The girl didn't even have leukemia. Like, I don't know how this woman pulled the wool over the eyes of so many doctors, making it look like this girl was so sick with all these things, but she didn't have any of them. So she spent 8 years in jail for helping to plot the death of her mother. She didn't actually do it. She had her boyfriend do it. He stabbed her to death. Gypsy Rose was in the bathroom. There's a Hulu series called the oh God, what is the name of the Hulu series? Hold on. And it's so good. Gypsy Rose, Hulu. By the way, she said she's not going to watch the series. The Act. Yeah, it was really well done. It's got that actress. Here, let me scoot down. I don't know these people's name. What is her name? Oh my God, why isn't it just saying the actors' names? Sorry. Want to give you, it's like, I've got it on the tip of my tongue. Let me just write actors. I see them in the picture, and one of them is like super famous. You guys all know who she is. Joey King. Her name's Joey, just like my daughter. And the mom was played by, why isn't it saying? So annoying. Patricia Arquette, of course. Patricia Arquette. Okay, so she had her boyfriend kill her mom. She was in the bathroom and heard her mom screaming for her and all that. So she goes to jail for 8 years for participating in, the plotting of her mother's death. The guy who killed her, I think he's spending the rest of his life in prison. So while she's in prison, she gets apparently 250 letters from men seeking her, affection. And she finally settles on this guy, Ryan, who is from her home state of Louisiana. Or it's just that she wanted to live in Louisiana. No, she's from Louisiana. So anyways, they develop a relationship. They get married while she's in prison. And when she gets out, he's there to get her. I do not like him. I know a lot of people really like him. They're really happy for her, but I just feel like he's in the spotlight along with her. By the way, I did not know that Gypsy Rose was going to be so big. I waited for the countdown. I was watching on TikTok. People are putting up videos that were great videos, with this song. I can't remember the song, but it's got the F word a lot, but it's showing the jail cell bars going up, and it's showing her with her crazy Cinderella wig on, and it's a picture from the past when she was little. They used to go on Make-A-Wish trips to Disneyland and stuff, or Disney World. Anyway, so it was I couldn't wait for it to happen, but I thought I would have to proactively seek her out on social media and see what she was up to, and I didn't know. My daughter's calling again. Don't call during a podcast. So I didn't know that I would have to I wouldn't have to seek her out. She's literally on everything. So she is plastered all over my phone, everywhere. And it's not because I'm following her. It's just because it's on everything. So she really is a huge influencer. I watched her account go from when I first looked at how many followers she had when she got out of prison, it was around 800,000. She's I think she's 6 million now. It's insane. She has so many followers. I mean, this is a girl who didn't have social media 8 years ago, and now she comes out and she immediately has a platform. So she's making the rounds, she's going on the talk shows, and of course the husband's right there with her. But I feel like he's just I don't like how he's part of this narrative or this story, because he's just some dude that got her to marry him. He has nothing to do with why she went to jail or her life prior to that. So I don't know. I don't like him being in every single freaking interview. It's or picture or video. It's I just don't like him. I don't know. I don't. And I wish she had not accepted his hand in marriage. Apparently, word is that she wanted it annulled shortly after they got married because she felt like he was too controlling. That's in the Lifetime documentary, apparently, which I haven't seen yet. I just saw something on TikTok about it. But I think we will see how this plays out. But I'm not that impressed by him. I mean, if he makes her happy, great. I don't know. She made some comment about the D is fire, which just I wanted to throw up because he is not that attractive. He's pretty overweight. He's obese. A guy is I know my daughters get so mad at me when I say that. They're like, Mom, you're fat shaming. I'm like, I know, but I just wanted her to have like somebody hot from Hollywood. She deserves it. Like, she settled for this big old fat guy from Louisiana. Like, I don't know. I just wanted her to have something better. But anyways, of course, if she's happy, she's happy. And I know people will comment on that in the posts or like underneath in the comments. And those people that say what I just said get destroyed because everyone's like, oh my God, can't you just be happy for her? I'm like, well, I guess, but I just don't like that he just gets to be part of the spotlight. He doesn't deserve it. He wasn't there for her childhood. He had nothing to do with the whole, the death of her mom or her being in prison. I don't know. So anyways, we will see how that plays out. There's somebody that, Jamila, who I don't even know if she listens to my podcast, but she was saying, I feel like something's off. I just feel like something. She goes, I can't put my finger on it. Something's off. And she goes, and I will just watch and see if something happens. I said, I don't know if something's off, but I definitely don't like him. And that's it. And I love her. And I hope she gets to have her silver teeth fixed. I think she's doing a great job. It's got to be stressful to get out of prison, basically being in jail for your whole life with your mom, stuck in a wheelchair when you could walk, and had this completely controlling life, and then be put in prison for 8 years. Where she said the first days she got to walk in the yard at the prison that she was in and like breathe the air, she said that was her first moment of feeling freedom. Like, isn't that how crazy? How ironic is that? That was her first feelings of freedom in prison because her mom was gone, and it was a matter of life and death at that point because the mom she tried to escape before, and there were other surgeries coming up and stuff. Like, she was like completely under her control, and the mom was crazy. So watch The Act. It's really good. Very well acted. But again, Gypsy says she won't be watching it, which is too bad because Joey King, is that her name? I think that's her name. Anyways, the actress, Joey King, she did a freaking unreal, amazing job. Like, I really felt like I was watching Gypsy Rose, for sure. So, okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. It is January 10th, and it is effing cold in California. All right, you guys, I love you. Thank you for listening. Have a good one, and hopefully I'll do one more before I go back to work on Tuesday. We shall see. Okay, go Niners. Bye, guys. Love you.